Hello there, welcome back to the channel, Nerdworld Empire, and today, another vessel from the Xindi species. In case you've missed it, I have been doing a full series currently on the Xindi, which should be linked up in the corner about now-ish. And this episode specifically is going to be about the Xindi shuttle, or Degras ship. The vessel was never given an exact classification. Before we get started, like, share, subscribe, and go back and watch the other episodes if you've not already seen them building up to this one. This was a small craft. Its exact dimensions are unknown, but it's approximately in scale 1/6 or 1/5 the length of the NX-01. It was maximum 2 decks deep. It was capable of being used as a light cargo or utility craft, but was mostly utilized as a transport and portable research platform, mostly used for observation and research and study into the development of the Xindi weapon. The vessel probably wasn't purpose built for this task, but probably was heavily customized for this purpose. The ship, as stated, was utilized by the Xindi scientist known as Degras. It was crewed primarily, and usually only, by arboreal and primate breeds of Xindi. Although I should point out, in my observation and studies of the Xindi ships, Xindi have a lot of overlapping technology. This vessel, architecturally, structurally, is much more reminiscent of an insectoid craft in terms of hull geometry than it is in keeping with either an arboreal or primate ship. As you would imagine, a Xindi primate like Degras would use primate vessel. The ship isn't as belligerently built as, say, an insectoid craft, but hull coloration and basic geometry is more in keeping with their ships, or perhaps even an aquatic vessel, as the vessel was capable of oceanic penetration. In other words, it could work as a submarine as well as a starship. It was not an overly heavily armed ship, armed only with particle cannons, which were powerful for a vessel of its size, but again, by no definition, by Xindi standards, were they actually powerful weapons. The ship relied on its speed and maneuverability, and at sublight speeds the vessel was extremely nimble. It also utilized vortex technology, and to a correction to one of my earlier videos where I testified that the Xindi lacked transporter technology, that's not entirely accurate. This ship did have transporters, but they were limited to perhaps only a kilometer in range. Xindi transporter technology was substantially less developed than that of Starfleet at the time, hence why they probably didn't utilize it very widely. This ship was constructed at an unknown time. We don't know how old this vessel was, but it was likely repurposed or developed specifically around the same time as the weapon went into development, as a ship given to Degras for his purposes. He used it to get from bases such as Azati Prime and other Xindi colonies and outposts to oversee the research and development of the super weapon that he was developing to destroy the human race and save the Xindi people. As I said, exactly when it was built is not known, but based on its design and interiors and modernization, it's a relatively new ship, I think we can safely say. In terms of the interior of the ship, we do get a good look at the vessel's bridge, and it has an unorthodox layout, which is not necessarily atypical of most Alpha Quadrant races at the time, but was certainly not standard bridge layout. The vessel's bridge was more elongated and narrow, with a command chair at the back and then 3 staggered consoles stretching down the middle of the bridge, which were utilized for control and operation purposes. The ship had a crew of around 10, but could carry more if needed, but could only be operated by a crew of 2 or 3 if it was really necessary. It could probably even be flown by a single individual if necessary. Basically, this was a lean ship meant to get Degras from point A to point B and allow him to run away from trouble and be defended probably by a more powerful Xindi warship such as a reptilian vessel. The ship was used primarily again by Degras, but after his death it was used by the Xindi counselor of the primates who took command of the ship. The vessel was instrumental actually in also defeating the very weapon that it had been equally instrumental in helping to develop. As it was a fast little ship, it was able to catch up with the Xindi warships and super weapon on their way to Earth, intercept the super weapon, and then board it with a small team of personnel to basically sabotage the ship from within. Without this vessel, it would have been a no-go for that entire operation, as nothing else could really catch up. pretty much making it theoretically one of, if not the fastest ship in the Zindi fleet. And there we have Degras' ship as seen in the 2150s. What happened to the ship post these events is unknown. It'll have likely been repurposed and gifted to a different scientist, but that's only my theory. Let me know what you think in the comments below. There's a few more of these episodes coming. I currently have a poll on my channel if you want to check it out for what I'm going to do as my next series. So if you want to take a vote on that, go check out the poll and have a look. And whichever vote wins. Didn't think that sentence through. That's the end of this video. I just want to take this moment to thank you for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, please check out my social links in the description box below to Instagram and Twitter and others, and also is down there a link to my Patreon page where you can support this channel and the others as I try to grow this franchise and do this more regularly. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you for watching, and bye bye.